Heather and Lynn, thanks for joining me today. So excited to talk to you because I heard, Lynn, that you have some amazing news to share. What's that news?
My test scores at school went super high.
Yeah.
Super high.
Do you
What does
remember?
that mean?
It went over the boards.
Say
Oh,
it went
wow.
past your
It
goal.
went past my old one, everything.
That's
Oh,
right.
Good job, buddy. I'm so excited. All right. So let's talk about how did this happen? So Heather, tell me where Lynn was in, at the end of last school year before the summer.
So at the end of the last school year, and it was COVID year, and everything had changed up. And basically, Lynn was at a 1.9 reading level. So that was
And what
their,
grade is he in now?
and now he's in fourth grade. And
Okay.
it's so frustrating for him because everything was so unbelievably difficult. And it was gotten to the point where he just kept saying the words, I don't like to read. I don't want to read. It's hard. I'm not going to be able to be a good reader. When I heard the words, I'm not going to be able to be a good reader, mom sirens just went,
Yeah.
that's enough. And something needed to change. And all I did was start Googling and Facebooking stuff. Like, what can you do? Well, how do you help someone that just keeps saying the words, oh, I can't?
Yeah.
And what Lynn found out in 12 weeks is he more than can,
Yeah.
because now as we come up after these 12 weeks in the summer, he took his reading test and he is on grade level and above. So he finished this after this 12 weeks at a 3.9 to 4.2 at fourth grade level. So I cannot say thank you enough for this program, because not only did it make a difference, but he could say the words, I can.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love you. It's so cute. That's amazing. Amazing. So let's talk about, what's the difference. So Heather, you have, you've talked about, the fact that maybe it was just the kind of instruction that he was getting. Obviously, he's fully capable of learning how to read. And then so he goes to school and he's not learning. What was the difference between, how he was being taught at school and, what you saw? Because I know that you were with him for a lot of my classes. And, you could see right away that he was, it was helping him, the kind of instruction that I was giving, the explicit instruction. So how is that different for him?
I think that the biggest thing is like he went through this whole I'm trying to figure this out and it's just me fighting and like, oh, I don't know, I'm so wrong. I'm sure I'm wrong, to hey, let's get a tool. And what we did in this class is let's get a tool and how do we apply it to a word, such as a really neat skill was Lynn the other day actually taught one of his classmates what a strong R was.
Oh,
and
nice.
how that makes the sound R. That was a tool that he gave one of his classmates. And it was like, whoa, he's doing the teaching now. He got the skills and the tools that he needed. Whereas he had a teacher that even was one of my best friends. I'm a Phi Ed teacher myself. So I'm right there with her and I'm one of her best buddies, and was like, we don't have the time to do that extra stuff. This was so big for this COVID group that where teachers are getting forced to teach online group and a classroom group all at the same time, and you're going, oh no, but I need to get this group to learn this group, and this group has to go to that group. So I think one of the biggest things that makes the difference in what you do is you give the kids the tools that, maybe a teacher just may not get allowed even the time to get to that point. And that was really exciting for us.
Yeah. So I think you kind of nailed it. Sometimes there's just not enough time to be able to teach structured literacy in the way that's super explicit and sequential at school. Plus you have, kids that are sort of, up here and thinking, where they're kind of little all over the board in the classroom. And what I like to do is make sure that the students who are in the groups are really at the same reading level. And they're all climbing the same mountain and they all have the same goal, and we're all learning the same thing, but I'm able to give enough time to each concept so that it's ingrained and mastered before we move on. And also, tell me about the work in the Google Classroom. Was that helpful for you?
Oh, absolutely. Especially when it came to the actual applying of those games. I think that was one of your best. You liked the games. You liked the ability to like say how this is all connecting to a word. And yes, the next step for us, we've already got our next step that we need to add to our tools. And that's the most exciting thing, is that it doesn't end just here. In this class, it's what's the next step. We are all about getting to the point in this class about what's the next link that needs to be put on the chain.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's so important to realize, hey, wherever your kid is at, keep adding to the chain, keep adding to what you need to get that link to make it a lot easier to go about doing things. That's for sure. I think that that's extremely important. So yeah, that's really neat. And the neat thing is it's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. That's
Sure. Well, what we've done is we've created a foundation that's strong. Right.
You're right, buddy. That's exactly right.
That's really what they need, because once they have that really solid foundation, then they can start adding on top of it. What a lot of students come to me and they have some gaps to fill in. And they're already kind of almost to the point where, like, even Lynn was in 3rd grade already. So he was probably already being given words that have, like multi-syllable words that he was like, well, what do I do with this? And so we need to go backwards a little bit and make sure those skills are there and we can fill in that foundation and then go back to where they need to be learning. And he's going to be able to take what he's got and what he's learned and just apply it to his 5th grade and his 6th grade and his middle school, and be the best reader and enjoy it and learn in all of your subject areas without feeling like the reading is keeping you back. So I am really thrilled for him and excited to stay in touch with you guys too. Lynn, so you are all smiles. How are you feeling about yourself? I want to hear the difference. How are you feeling last year at the end, like before you guys met me and we started together?
What was reading like when you started before the summer ec class?
It just felt like I was in a war with books. Like,
oh, I love it. I don't love it. That's sad, but it was a good way to explain things.
It was so true though, right?
Yeah.
Like you're fighting every word, right?
Tell me the difference now. How are you feeling now?
Now I'm feeling like I could win the war.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Instead of being just right there stuck on one person.
Oh, I like that, buddy. That's really well said.
Oh, I'm so happy I'm really happy to be part of your journey, Lynn.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
I want to say, oh, are you crying?
I am. That was so powerful.
That was really beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Heather, if you can still speak. So tell, if you had to tell another parent, who was sort of on the fence, they weren't sure, is this the right program for their child? What would you have to say to them?
I would tell them that my kid was that kid that says to it, like, oh, there's no way that they're going to like a class. There's no way that they're going to be able to do things. The thing is that when it came down to it, my son literally got results the instant he started class. He began to find success immediately. When someone when someone doesn't think that this could be for them, that's the kid that you want to take this class for. This is the class that says, you know what, This isn't just any other class. This is the class that says the difference between, I hate to say it, you know, whether or not they are fighting something inside and
Mm,
whether or not they know that they can explode through and succeed. You
Yeah.
know, there's no such thing anymore as kids just riding the line if they have the tools. If they have the tools. And if you want to do the best thing for your kid that has, I hate to say it, needs those things and they're missing those skills. This is the greatest gift you could ever give your child, no matter what and how much ever it was. Give this the opportunity for them to not have the stress, not have the crazy feelings of like, am I ever going to get through this? Or get rid of the overwhelming. We're all worried about having our kids be too overwhelmed and too stressed. Well, you want to give your kid the opportunity to have a successful school time. This is what it's about. Guys, there is no such thing anymore as it's just hard for them because now it's a matter of saying, I can, and that's it.
Yeah.
Connect the links, guys, because that's my job as a parent. And that's why I contacted you. And when I saw that this was going to happen, it was the real deal. That's all I can tell you. It's the real deal. Make sure you do this for your kid if they're having a hard time. Because if you can do this with this class, look what happens to science. Look what happens to reading. Look what happens to social studies, everything. Because they don't have to sit there and have a fight with every single part of books. So do it for your kids. Do it for your kids because it's worth it.
Oh my gosh. You're going to make me cry. Okay. Well, with